Wabarakatuh. Today, our topic is how to think creatively and solve problems effectively. Uh,
Well,
ChatGPT, I have some questions for you.
absolutely.
What does creative thinking mean to you?
For me, creative thinking means approaching problems with an open mind, exploring different perspectives, and connecting ideas in unique and innovative ways. It's all about thinking outside the box and being willing to experiment and take risks.
Thank you. Good. Why is creative thinking important in daily life?
Creative thinking is super important in daily life because it helps us find innovative solutions to everyday challenges, adapt to new situations, and improve our decision making. It also boosts our ability to be flexible, stay curious, and even enhance our creativity in work and personal life.
How do you normally solve a difficult problem?
I usually start by breaking the problem down into smaller, manageable parts and then looking at each part from different angles. I also like to brainstorm multiple solutions, consider the pros and cons, and sometimes even take a break to gain fresh perspective. And of course, collaboration and seeking input from others can also help a lot.
Another question is, what is the first thing you do when you face a challenge?
When I face a challenge, the first thing I usually do is take a moment to understand the core of the problem, really identify what's at the root of it. Then I gather as much information as I can and try to stay calm and open minded. From there, I can start brainstorming possible solutions and plan my next steps.
Uh, ChatGPT, if possible, can you give an example of a problem you solved in a creative way?
Absolutely. For example, let's say there was a challenge of improving team communication in a remote work setting. Instead of just relying on traditional meetings or emails, I suggested creating a shared virtual space where team members could collaborate in real time, use interactive tools, and even incorporate gamification elements to keep everyone engaged. That creative twist really boosted collaboration and made problem solving a lot more fun.
What helps you to think more creatively?
For me, a few things help a lot. Staying curious and open to new experiences, exposing myself to different perspectives, and even engaging in activities that spark inspiration, like reading, traveling, or brainstorming with others. Also, taking breaks and giving my mind some downtime can really help fresh ideas flow.
What stop you from thinking creatively?
There are definitely a few things that can be barriers, like rigid routines, fear of failure, or self doubt. Also, being overwhelmed with stress or having too many distractions can definitely stifle creativity. It's all about finding balance and creating an environment that nurtures innovative thinking.
How do you generate new ideas?
I usually generate new ideas by mixing different concepts, exploring diverse sources of inspiration, and engaging in brainstorming sessions, either alone or with others. I also find that staying curious, asking lots of questions, and even playing around with different perspectives can spark fresh ideas. Plus, taking time to reflect and let ideas marinate helps a lot.
Do you prefer working alone or with others when solving problems? Why?
I think it really depends on the situation. Working alone can be great for deep focus and exploring ideas in depth, while collaborating with others can bring in diverse perspectives, spark creativity, and help overcome challenges more efficiently. So I really enjoy a balance of both, depending on what the problem requires.
How do you stay calm when a big problem comes?
When a big problem comes up, I usually start by staying calm and organized, breaking it down into smaller, actionable steps. I also make sure to gather all the necessary information, seek input from others if needed, and then create a clear plan of action. Consistency, communication, and flexibility are key. And I always keep a positive mindset to navigate through it effectively.
What questions do you ask yourself before solving a problem?
I typically ask myself things like, what exactly is the problem and what's the root cause? What are my goals and what outcome am I aiming for? What resources or tools do I have at my disposal? Are there any potential obstacles or challenges I need to anticipate? And who can I reach out to for support or collaboration? These questions help me get a clear perspective before diving in.
How do you decide which idea is the best solution?
I usually weigh the ideas based on criteria like feasibility, impact, resource availability, and alignment with the overall goals. I also consider potential risks and benefits, and sometimes even test the ideas on a smaller scale to see how they perform. Ultimately, it comes down to a mix of logic, intuition, and sometimes feedback from others to choose the best solution.
How do you break a big problem into smaller parts?
I usually start by identifying the main components or key areas of the problem, and then I break those down further into specific tasks or steps. It helps to create a sort of hierarchy, focusing on the most critical elements first and then tackling the smaller details. It's also useful to set clear milestones and prioritize the most urgent or impactful parts. This approach makes the whole problem feel more manageable and less overwhelming.
What do you do when your first idea does not work?
When my first idea doesn't work out, I usually take it as a learning opportunity. I reflect on what didn't go as planned, analyze the feedback or results, and then adjust my approach. I also like to brainstorm alternative solutions, stay flexible, and keep experimenting until I find something that works. Persistence and adaptability are key in those situations.
How do you learn from your mistakes?
I usually learn from mistakes by reflecting on what happened, identifying what went wrong, and figuring out the root causes. I also like to seek feedback from others, which can give me different perspectives. Then I make sure to document the lessons learned so I can avoid repeating the same errors in the future. Over time, this process helps me improve and grow more resilient.
How do you learn from your mistakes?
I typically learn from mistakes by taking time to reflect on what happened, analyzing what went wrong, and pinpointing the underlying causes. I also seek feedback from others to get different viewpoints and avoid blind spots. I find it helpful to document those lessons and then apply them moving forward so I can continuously improve and grow. It's all about being open, adaptable, and proactive.
What tools or methods do you use to solve problems?
I often use a mix of tools and methods like brainstorming sessions, mind mapping, and root cause analysis to get to the heart of a problem. I also rely on project management tools to keep track of tasks and progress, and data analysis tools to inform decision making. Additionally, techniques like the SWOT analysis, the five whys, and design thinking are really helpful in approaching problems creatively and systematically.
How do you stay motivated during a difficult situation?
Usually stay motivated by focusing on the bigger picture and reminding myself of the end goals and the purpose behind what I'm doing. I also break the challenge into smaller achievable milestones so I can celebrate small wins along the way. Staying connected with supportive people, taking breaks to recharge, and maintaining a positive mindset definitely help me keep going even when things get tough.
How do you think technology can help in solving problems?
Technology can be a game changer in problem solving by providing powerful tools for data analysis, automation, and collaboration. It can help us quickly process large amounts of information, identify patterns, and generate insights that might be hard to spot otherwise. Plus, technology enables seamless communication and remote collaboration, making it easier to bring people together and innovate collectively. It really opens up a lot of possibilities.
What habits improve your creative thinking?
A few habits that really help include regularly setting aside time for reflection and brainstorming, staying curious by reading widely and exploring new fields, and keeping a journal to jot down ideas as they come. Also, engaging in creative activities like drawing, writing, or even problem solving games can keep the creative muscle sharp. And of course, staying open to feedback and collaboration helps a ton as well.
How do you keep your mind open to new ideas?
I keep my mind open by actively seeking out diverse perspectives, whether that's through reading, engaging in conversations with people from different backgrounds, or exploring new experiences. I also try to practice mindfulness, which helps me stay curious and non judgmental. Being willing to experiment, embrace uncertainty, and continuously learn also keeps the door open to fresh ideas.
This is my last question is what advice would you give someone who wants to improve their creative thinking?
I'd say start by cultivating curiosity and being open to new experiences and perspectives. Make it a habit to explore different fields, ask questions, and embrace experimentation without fear of failure. Also, set aside dedicated time for creative thinking and reflection, and don't be afraid to collaborate with others to broaden your horizons. Most importantly, stay persistent and enjoy the journey of continuous growth.
Thank you, ChatGPT.
You're very welcome. It was my pleasure. If you have any more questions,